Hey, welcome to the Bluejay Banter post-game show. We are live here at Let It Fly Sports Bar. If you're inside the sports bar, ask for a headset. You can listen to our shows. It's up on one of the many screens in front of you. If you're on YouTube, thanks so much for joining us. Make sure you hit that subscribe and like button. It helps us out a ton. Joined by my buddy, Austin Chapman. How's it going, bud?
Great to be here. Great. How are you?
I am super. Probably not the game we expected. Jays get away with the win, 99-86, but I'm sure a ton of our questions, comments, discussion will be around Ryan Kalkbrenner tonight.
Absolutely. He showed us a lot. I think it was a good opener.
49 points. In case you haven't heard, that's second all-time to Bob Portman's 51, so he now sits second. Also, something probably you didn't know, he passed Kyle Korver tonight for sixth place all-time, which kind of surprised me. I mean, Kalk's been here a while, obviously, but, there's nights where he doesn't have a huge volume. We think more of the rebounds and the defense and so forth, but he's sixth all-time and has a chance, conceivably, to move to number two if he, scores enough points, plays enough games this season. So
yes, sir.
It's
long way to number one.
Long way to number one. But if you weren't at the game, the crowd was going nuts at the end. They wanted him. We're trying to break the press, and everybody's give it to Kalkbrenner. Let him get fouled. Let him get fouled.
Absolutely.
But I'm sure in that, as a former player, you know this. I'm sure he had no clue. Like, he maybe knew how many points he had, but he didn't know what the record was.
I can't say that, but there's just some unwritten rules, and I think he showed a lot of humility.
Yeah,
just not being able.
And
to
he's
push
that kind of guy.
Right.
He's not gonna. He's not gonna. If it was you would say, "Hey, give me that ball. I want to score some more points, man."
I don't know. I can't say that, but we generally like.
Now, did you know? For instance, because this is what you're most known for. Did you know, I've got 12 assists. 2 more as a record, or 3. What did you kind of know that?
You start hearing the talk. The sideline starts talking a little bit, and coaches get going, and of course he knew. There's a point that he knew, but you saw him pressing a little bit, and at the end they started going to him a little more heavily. But I was just happy to see running the ball through. Finally, and him just playing a full. What he did. 38 minutes, 35 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, Fred didn't get much run in the second half because Ryan was so effective. But like we were talking before we came on the air, they were taking away the three. They didn't want us to shoot three. We kind of struggled a little bit the shots we did get tonight. I mean, we only shot around 32%, I think it was. So that was open, and we're going to take advantage. And they were a little undersized at the 5. All the 5s they had, though, could shoot threes.
Absolutely.
Which is good. I think that was good. I spoke to DK, Derek Kellogg, on Monday about that. And I said, I think that's good for Kalk because first guy pops to mind, obviously, is Eric Dixon from Villanova, who, by the way, had 33 points tonight. But Villanova lost to Columbia, the 5th best team in the Ivy League.
Fair.
Yeah. So, he's a guy that's kind of killed us when we play him, and a guy that Kalk struggles with because he's trying to, protect the rim, yet he's got to get out on that big guy. Absolutely. And so a good learning tool for more reps, I should say, against a guy who shoots threes. But, hey, if you have any questions, throw them in the chat down below on YouTube. We'll be happy to answer them or your thoughts and discuss them. Tonight, we're going to have Pop Isaacs as our guest. The guest lineup is kind of predetermined for every game, so we can the staff can get the guys lined up to come over here. So Pop will be joining us shortly, and we'll talk to him. Obviously, he didn't play tonight because of a little hip injury, but we'll let him talk about that later. And then the coach tonight, Tre Zielger, the newest assistant, who I have not had a great opportunity to talk to. I've talked to him briefly one time, so it's going to be great to have him here as well. We are sponsored by Care Miners Home Health Care and Discount Window and Door of Omaha. What else stuck out to you for the game tonight?
Really, Shane getting some early run.
Yeah,
right?
He did.
Getting the two-hander. McAndrews, just his confidence. I think that stuck out to me. I think some point in the season he's going to be huge for us. But just Kalk taking on the role. I think that's kind of been a question mark, the reason he came back. For him to kind of just show the fans and actually earn his NIL and some of that too, it was great. I loved it. And I just think there's a lot more to come from that, and I think that's just going to give a lot of guys something to build on.
Yeah.
I think there's 2 areas that he can improve, but I think he's going to walk away from this knowing, he's going to be ready for Big East, and they got some challenges up ahead.
Yeah, for sure. Knocked down a couple threes tonight, 2 for 2.
Did it?
So that was good. And so before we get started here with our first guest, we want to go to talk about CareMinders Home Health Care, one of our sponsors. If you need care for your injured or ill loved one, reach out to CareMinders Home Health Care. You can go to caremindersnebraska.com, see everything they have to offer, and they will take care of everything for you. They'll sit down with you, do a total sit down with you, get you to understand what they can do and how much they can help you, and get your peace of mind and well-being all satisfied. So give a call, 402-532-1383, or go to caremindersnebraska.com and check out all they have to offer. All right, it's time for our first guest. It's player profile. First time on our postgame show.
Yes,
Pop
sir.
Isaacs.
How you
Buddy,
doing?
how you doing, man?
Good.
Good to see you. It's Austin Chapman.
How are you?
Good,
Yes, sir.
man.
Yes,
Nice
sir.
to see you. Yes, sir.
Played your position back when Doug was here.
Yes, he
so,
did.
we were just discussing this. So everybody on the bench, no Kalk was 2 off the record.
Right. Yeah. No. We were all trying to tell them to get him the ball to try to get the free throws at the end.
You were yelling loud in the crowd, huh?
Yeah, I was. We wanted to see him get that 50, but Kalk's an unselfish guy. I don't think he really cared about it. So,
what a game! What a game for him, huh?
Yeah, he played amazing. Best performance I've seen up close in college for sure. So
20 of 22.
Yeah.
I was thinking he could have an off night and probably still be leading the country in field goal percentage.
No, for sure.
Right?
For sure.
And, something fans don't see, I see it in practice, and you see it as well. You guys do that three-point shooting drill, and
right.
the one they did on Monday, I think you guys, both teams, they split in half, and both teams tied the record.
Right.
And Kalk and Fred as well. I mean, those guys are out there shooting threes and getting into the rhythm, and Kalk seems to have a really nice rhythm with that three.
No, for sure. He's you could tell he put in the work this summer though. He made a really big jump this summer. That's one of the reasons he said he wanted to come back to school, or now not go through the pre-draft process and come back to school, was just so he could work and get better, because he hadn't had a chance to really do that in college yet. So I seen him do it all summer, and it's paying off for him. So
you were not able to play tonight.
Nothing serious. I'll be good. Hopefully, I'm optimistic about being out there on Sunday. Just a day-to-day thing. I had surgery 6 months ago, so it's just making sure that's all good and ready to go. Yeah, basically. So just trying to make sure everything is good.
I think we kind of tell at times the offense was not going as smoothly, and with you out there, the other night with Purdue, it was really clicking. But I did see on the bench pulling, especially when Ty came off. Mm-hmm. Like, what were you trying to help him with? Obviously, I'm sure he had a little nerves tonight.
It was his first. I know we had the exhibition game, but it was his first real game. So I remember the nerves I had. I had 5 turnovers in my first college game.
Did you really?
Yeah, I remember it like it was yesterday.
I fouled out in my first.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah. All 5 of them.
Man, I was just so amped, and I just wanted him to be confident and be himself. Coach trusts him and had him out there for a reason, so I just wanted him to go out there, be himself, and just make the right play when he was out there, and just do what Coach asked of him, and I think he did a real good job tonight. So
I know Austin's seen him at practice too, and I was really looking forward. I knew a lot about Jackson. I had a lot of conversations with him through the recruiting process. Had probably more conversations with Ty's dad than with Ty, but I was blown away like the first couple practices how comfortable he looked running the team.
Yeah, for sure. Nah, he's been comfortable since the day he got here in June, it seemed like. He's a true point guard. He likes to get his guys involved, and he's real confident. He has a sneaky confidence about him, too. And I just want him to be able to keep that, knowing he's a freshman and getting an opportunity early like this, because, confidence is everything in the player, especially, when you're getting thrown into the fire like that. So.
And he's got some nice size. You maybe don't see it when you're sitting.
Yeah, he's 6'4".
He's a nice size kid, so only going to get better.
Mm-hmm. What are you most excited to show the fans here?
I just want to be a winning player, man. It's been a winning program. I just want to come into a culture and be able to be myself, and just hopefully that can lead to some wins and help McDermott just win some games. I think I'm a really good fit here with the style of play, and that's the reason I came here. And I just want that to hopefully translate in just us winning some games. That's the biggest thing. So whatever way that happens, I just want it to happen that way.
Absolutely. So I think the ball got a little stale tonight.
Yeah.
I think we missed you getting to the paint a little bit. I know that's going to be a big thing.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. To the rim. And
for sure.
I'm just excited to see the full.
For sure. And also when hopefully Fedor gets cleared eventually. So and I think once he gets cleared, and obviously I'll be back out there sooner than later. So I'm excited, man. I think we got a real shot to do some things. I know we got some things to work on defensively, but Coach will get us right. I know that for a fact. So we'll be fine.
One day at a time.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. It's early, so we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I was telling Austin earlier on Monday's practice. I mean, I was just blown away by how much, you're playing a team that, you're supposed to beat handily and so forth. But Coach was spending so much detail on the defensive end of the floor and drilling into people and the spot. New guys, at one point he said, hey, guys, I give you freedom on the offensive end. Defensive end, you've got to follow our game plan here, because we take a lot of time in devising game plans. How did you think defensively we did overall tonight?
I mean, not great at all. I'm gonna call a spade a spade. We got to get some work done on that end for sure. That's gonna determine how good we are, is if we're gonna get better on that end of the floor. I mean, in the 3 games we played so far as a team, we haven't had any problem scoring the ball. In the close scrimmage, the exhibition first Purdue that everybody saw. And tonight, I mean, we had 99 points, and I think we scored close to I don't know what we scored in the Purdue game, but I think it was pretty high.
93,
93, and they had 80-something, I believe. So we got to figure out a way to get some stops. That's the biggest thing, and we got some work to do on that end, and I think we'll figure it out. So
I thought, though, if you were didn't see the game and you just looked at the stat sheet, I thought for the most part, the defense wasn't horrible. I mean, they just shot. They just shot lights out, because I was saying the other night in Nebraska, they were 13 of 41 from 3.
Yeah, they shot 41 threes the other night, and that was something we emphasized, was to try to get them off the line. Just didn't happen that way tonight, so we got to get better at that end. But I'm proud of my guys. It was everybody was put in different positions tonight with me being out. Nobody was really expecting me to be out like that. So. They went out there, and we still got some things to learn, but they went out there and did their best to put it together, and we got the job done at the end of the day. So.
Yeah, I think there was one stretch toward the end of the game there in the second half where I think they got 5 offensive rebounds, but that was, again, like you said, we had a different lineup in there. Guys were scrambling a little bit, and some of it was just the ball bouncing the way it does. I mean, sometimes those offensive rebounds come just because the ball bounce is funny, or you're taking a lot of threes or what have you. So, but you're right. That's got to get tightened up a little bit. The rebounding,
Yeah, for sure. Coach, I know for sure he's not going to be playing games. So
you think there'll be a lot of the cone in the basket drills?
I would think so. I would think so.
Yeah, it's got a lot of that.
I would think so.
Mitch and Johans will be firing them up from outside, and you guys will be going after it.
Yep, understandably so. So. We got some things to get done on that end, and we'll get it right though. So
what do you like about Omaha so far?
I mean, the people have been great to me. I mean, I was really comfortable in Lubbock, and just coming to Omaha, I mean, I wasn't necessarily nervous or optimistic, because I like going to new places, but it's different. So and I've gotten really comfortable here, and the people are just great people. Just going to school every day. Teachers are great here. Just the kids on campus are great, so everything about it's been lovely so far. So,
what was the big thing that was the deciding factor on you coming to Creighton?
Just wanting to play in the system that I thought best suited me. I knew I had some things to get better at, efficiency wise. It could, a lot of the reasons why could be here and there. But I just knew I had to get better overall as a basketball player, and I thought Coach McDermott was the perfect person to get me better at the things that I know I needed to get better at, and I can't wait to get out there and show that. So,
we're talking with Pop Isaacs. Let's go back to that Purdue game, because you were you had, like you said, you had the surgery, you came back, you're in a new system. It took you a while to get going, and I'm sure the staff was didn't throw you in full bore. They were kind of easing you into off that surgery. And I know when I talked to you one practice, you're like, man, I'm not. This isn't me. No. I'm not playing the way I want to. No. And you were struggling a little bit with your shot, and then you came to that Purdue game, and man, that bucket was really big that night.
Yeah, for sure. I think when you see me, I was just really starting to get my legs under me. It takes a while. So just trying to get my legs under me, and I've been through it once before on the other side, so it was nothing new to me. Just the more I got my legs under me and the more I got used to the system and getting used to the plays, I'm still getting used to it, but I would think I'm catching on fairly fast. But just getting more comfortable made things easier. And, Coach McDermott told me I was going to get open shots coming here, and he didn't lie about that. So.
What do you think the biggest difference between Texas Tech and here is?
Omaha is a lot bigger than Lubbock, first off.
But it's windy in Lubbock, too.
Yeah, it's windy in Lubbock.
Windy here.
Yeah, Lubbock's a great place, though. But just Omaha, I mean, it's I wouldn't say it's – I mean, Lubbock's a bit more of a – it's surrounded by – it's a college town in a way. Omaha, it has a football team, so it's kind of different in that aspect. But the way that, people gravitate towards Creighton basketball here is, amazing. Like, the fan support we get is insane. It's been all love here so far, man. So I don't really want to compare it because I don't really know how. So both places have been lovely so far, and just being in Omaha so far has been amazing. So
can you say it's a better step getting you ready for the next level?
Yeah, for sure. That's kind of why I made that step to come here and to play for McDermott. I thought it just made the most sense. And I think he's the guy to get me to where I eventually want to go. I think he's a mastermind on the offensive end, and that's just why I wanted to come play for him. And I think he'll put me in the right situations to be successful to get the team wins. So,
obviously, Kalk, but who besides Kalk, who do you think kind of stood out to you tonight as having a decent game?
I mean, Steven obviously played well. I think that. I really liked the way Ty played tonight, Ty Davis. I thought he came in for being his first game. I know he probably had some nerves, and I thought he really did a good job of running the show when he did, or playing the two. I mean, he doesn't really play off the ball in practice too much, so it happened kind of fast with me being out tonight. So just the way he adapted really quick and on the fly, it was great to see, especially for a freshman, because that's not always normal for a freshman to catch on to things super fast the way he does, and to be able to go out there on night one and give us some big time contributions was huge. So
well, you mentioned Fedor, and he's a terrific player, and but we have other terrific players at the spot. But tonight with you out, that would have been the perfect opportunity, because you could have slid him in a couple different spots over there and had Ty over at the point, or Ash over at the point, and you kind of ran
sure. I think when Fedor comes back, he's a dynamic player, man. He could really shoot the ball, really get his shot off.
He can.
I don't know if it'll be a different look, because most of McDermott's offenses look like the same in a sense with different plug and play pieces, but I think it'll give us a different dynamic, a different way to go, a different go-to guy in the way too on the offensive end. So I don't think scoring the ball will be an issue for us this year.
No. Well, I like what you do coming off that screen. You're ready to shoot. Fedor's the same way. And I tell people, unfortunately, when he hurt his ankle the second time, he made a beautiful come off the screen, step back, and that was the sweetest shot. Nothing but net, and then landed on somebody's ankle. But so we're just kind of seeing all the pieces right now and so forth. How's school going?
It's going well, man. Creighton's a great academic place to be at for sure. So my grades are doing good. In the classroom every day, I'm getting it done. So,
AC, what do you think of these? These black? Do you like these? Oh yeah. Look at that.
Yeah.
I like them.
He's smooth.
We were supposed to have black jerseys on our last year, and They
has black jerseys been here yet?
No, and we way back in the day, I think they used to have. When you were here, like in the Valley, you'd see a lot of people with the darker blue with the Bluejay, and I always wondered why we didn't have a jersey like that with the light blue numbers and stuff. I think that looked kind of cool.
They had the drafts.
You had a couple different grays.
You
had one gray you wore in San Antonio that I think got thrown into trash after that game.
Absolutely. Yeah, we had some tough times with those, but I would like to see some dark.
We got the baby blues. Baby blues look good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think we got a good jersey pattern for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Pop, thanks a lot.
Thank you guys, man.
Thanks for being here. Really appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
And his appearance is sponsored by Omaha's top window place, Discount Window and Door of Omaha. They are a fabulous company when it comes to enhancing your home's beauty and comfort and energy efficiency. Trust the expertise of the best window company in Omaha. That's Omaha Window and Door. They just have a commitment to excellence and dedication to customer satisfaction, and they have you high-quality products. And I'd like to show you what they did to my house. First, I'm going to give you a before picture of my windows, and you can kind of see what they look like and, what the difference was. They weren't bad, but we noticed we're getting a little bit of cracking there. You can see the one on the left before and after. Look at how sharp that is. They're nice square. They look great with the white trim. And they came and did my entire house like in one day, or like an afternoon, basically. It was awesome. No hassle. Got it all done, and they are so wonderful. I just love them. So check them out. That's Discount Window and Door of Omaha, locally family owned. It's 402-884-8989. That's 402-884-8989. Austin, rattle off some stats for us from the Jays tonight.
The boys are 28% from three, which most nights I won't get it on. In the first period. Second period, 33%. Finishing off with about 33% around. Which,
it's under what we normally do.
That's not the norm. Didn't shoot great from the free throw line. I didn't believe, especially for.
No, I know Pop missed one. Kalk was pretty good, though, I think.
But Ty Davis did have one of the greatest plus minuses to Pop's point, 16 plus minus, which playing 17 minutes, 5 rebounds. I think as a freshman, to Pop's point, being able to exert some of his confidence that he did have and being able to be, the helm of what we needed in the kind of the midst of his departure there, I think is great for the team. And honestly, Shane, just giving those spot minutes is going to be huge, I think, over time, even when Pop is back. But there was times where I think the ball got a little stale. Neil was, I think we still haven't seen the best that we can see from Neil. Was sometimes a little over dribbling at times that I think he could have just got right to his point and maybe could have had an easier bucket. But Kalkbrenner shooting above 90% is something that is hard to.
Yeah,
it's hard
I thought Neil though, I thought he was a little too unselfish at times.
He was. And I just think he made the game a little harder than what it should be.
Yeah.
And I think as he kind of settles in and gets comfortable in the system, right?
Right.
As it kind of took Ashworth a little bit to get comfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. Great point. Great point.
Over time, I think we'll see him finally adjust to more or less his role, but he's going to have to happen fast.
He had some nice passes tonight.
He did.
Though. He had some nice. He set Kalk up on a couple of really beauties.
I think too we're gonna need him to actually actively put some points on the board.
Yes, and he showed late in the game what he can do.
Absolutely,
taking it to the hole.
Absolutely.
If you didn't hear us earlier, so Kalk had 49, Ashworth 25. So quite the performance. Hey, we want to get to Care Miners of Omaha of Nebraska one more time. They're our title sponsor. They're dedicated to making sure your injured, ill, or senior loved one is taken care of. So go to caremindersnebraska.com. Check out all they have to offer. And their phone number is 402-532-1383. That's caremindersofnebraska.com. And it is time for Coach's Corner. And tonight, we have our newbie, Tre Zielger. I've talked to you a little bit, but first time on the show.
Yeah.
Austin Chapman.
Yes, sir.
My guy. How you guys doing?
We're doing great. So just what's your let's leave Kalk out of it for a second. What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts on the game?
Well, we got to be better defensively. I think that was the message we had after the game. Giving up that many points. Game one, you just hope for a better effort defensively. I don't think we executed our game plan. We gave up a lot of shots. We knew they were a great shooting team, so we just got to fix that area. And I think, of course, Calk had a historic night and got us out of there, but we got to be sharper defensively.
Yeah, I mean, do you think? I mean, they just shot it really well compared to what they shot at Monday.
Right.
I think they're probably better than Monday and not as good as tonight. Right. So
Somewhere
I thought there were some possessions where I thought we played pretty good defense and they just knocked down a shot.
Yeah, and they have give it up to them. They're very well coached. Their coach came from BYU. He runs similar offense to us, and they live at the 3-point line. So. We were aware of that, and of course, when you live and die by the 3, you have nights like this, and they were able to capitalize.
I mean, they missed some late, but for most of the game, they were around 50% for most of the game. And
absolutely.
We, on the other hand, did not have one of our better 3-point nights. But to what we've discussed all night long so far, they were taking that 3 away, and then Calk went to work.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we knew we had a mismatch down low. Their big man probably around 6'7", and we knew we would be able to capitalize down there with Kalkbrenner, and that was a big part of our game plan.
I think they rotated like 2 or 3 guys in there. They all could hit threes,
right?
Which is good. Like we were talking the other day, good work for Calk, because in the Big East there's a couple of guys that like to step out. Gold and Dixon like to step out and hit threes, so it's a good work for Calk. But on the other hand, really advantage for us down low, especially.
Absolutely.
And I just think Calk looks so much more comfortable. What do you think, Austin? Down low?
He was just taking his time. He had pace. He was just playing with his own pace. He wasn't sped up. Even when the double came, I think he was just playing with exceptional pace at the end of the day, and that's kind of why he was, when the double came, he would step through and then kind of get to the other side of the basket. But I just think I hadn't seen that. Generally he's kind of sped up, or he's just getting rid of it real quick. So I was just kind of happy to see that too.
It was a real point of emphasis during his development this summer and during the fall of being able to play in the post quicker before the double gets there. So a lot of seeing him put that to work tonight was great.
Yeah, and I like to Austin's point, I love the fact that late in the game in the second half, they were doubling, and he would step out, reverse the ball out, and then we would reset, and then, they were at a disadvantage.
Right,
so that's something when he was a sophomore he did not do. He would try and make the play and lose it or put up a bad shot, but not anymore. He's so Did you want him to get that ball out of center court? Just hold it, let somebody foul him?
I did. Selfishly, to see a guy have a night like that, you root for him to, finish it off, But even without 50, it was a historic night. I mean, to score 49 points on I think it was almost 90%.
20 or 22.
Over 90%. 90%. That's unheard of. So just to see that and be a part of that was unbelievable.
Well, we were saying he could have an off night, still lead the country in field goal percentage.
Oh,
and he's perfect from 3.
He set himself up well.
So this may be the first time a lot of fans have gotten to see. So tell us a little bit about yourself, your past history, and so forth.
Well, I grew up in the basketball world. My dad is at Nebraska, as some of you may know. He's assistant there, and so I grew up in it. He coached at numerous universities, from University of Pittsburgh, UCLA. So we made all the rounds around the country, and grew up around the game. I ended up playing college basketball for him, and then I transferred to University of Pittsburgh and finished up at TCU. And then I played professionally for 7 years. I got to play against this guy in Romania for a year.
Did you really?
Yeah. We played against each other. Yeah.
How did you both like Romania?
I loved it. I think he was there a shorter amount of time than me.
For a little stint, but it was a good time.
I did 2 years there. It was
well.
it was a really good country. I mean, I was in Bucharest, which is the capital, so it was good. Yeah. But after that, I was wrapping up my career, and during the time Jalen Courtney Williams was here, we had a previous relationship because he was a grad assistant for my dad at Mississippi State.
Oh, okay.
And me and Jalen are the same age, and we also both played for Trent Johnson in college, so we had a couple connections there. And as I was getting ready, my playing career was winding down. I was trying to figure out what's next. Naturally, I wanted to coach. And Jalen was one of the people I reached out to, and it helped. It worked out. Originally, when I reached out to him, there was no spot available. Then Corey that now at High Point, he went to Drake, and then I was able to become the grad assistant here, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
I ended up being here the Elite 8 year, and then went over to High Point with Al Huss. And then I'm back. Yeah,
Al's my man.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Al they had a nice game today.
They did. I was watching all the way up to our tip.
Yeah,
so,
it was great. We had Big East games on. We had High Point on. It was awesome.
Go Panthers, man. Go Panthers.
Yeah, Al used to be my go-to guy for recruiting. He was the man. I see he's dug into his pile of foreign players. He's got a couple on his squad.
He's always going to do that. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're so deep and talented. It's unbelievable what they're building there.
So you and Dad going to share secrets here in a couple weeks?
No, I'm probably done talking to him. He helped me with this Rio Grande Valley game, and then that's probably it for about scouting.
Well, but we both play Fairleigh Dickinson too.
Yeah. So we might share a few tips on that one, and then we gotta be enemies for about 2 weeks here. Yeah.
I like it. He's got it down already, buddy. He's got it down already.
Yeah.
So you've been this second stint, like you said. What do you? First of all, tell some people about High Point, because that campus is beautiful.
Yeah, for people that don't know about High Point, it's probably the best campus on the country. I haven't been anywhere better, and I've been in a lot of places. It's like a country club almost. It's all gated in, and there's four steakhouses on campus that all the students eat at free. All the dining's free for the students. It's an unbelievable setup. So it definitely helped us in recruiting and being able to get that thing started. Absolutely.
Yeah, Al told me, he said, when I drove through those gates, I was like, I'm sold.
And the facility, the stadium is just unbelievable.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And the president's kind of a character.
Yeah. And that's what makes the place unique, really, is him. He makes that thing go. So, I had an amazing experience there. We were able to obviously win 27 games and win our league for the year one. But Al and the rest of the staff, it's just a tremendous place. It's unbelievable, honestly.
Oh, man, that president's got to have. I remember his introductory press conference, he was telling about how Al was part of, Sweet 16 Elite Games. He goes, I'm giving you 2 years, then I want Final Four. So you've been 2 stints here in Omaha. What do you think of Omaha?
I love Omaha. I love it. I think as a grad assistant, I was so wrapped into my job all the time. I didn't really have any free time, and coming back and being able to explore the city a lot more, I'm in love with the city. It's definitely grown in just what it was. I was gone 12 months, and you got a whole new area over there with the restaurant Memoir, and then Let It Fly is here now. So it's just growing. It's rapidly growing, and I love it here. Yeah, it's been amazing.
So we were talking with Pop, and he started chuckling. He goes, I said, so you think there's going to be a lot of the cone in the basket drills going on? He goes, oh, yeah.
It's always good to learn from wins. So I think this was definitely a learning experience for our guys. I think a lot of the things they've been fighting us on, and we've been trying to get them to buy in.
Yeah.
They got to see it tonight.
Yeah.
They got to see it tonight.
Yeah.
So we'll hit the ground running here Friday, and it will be a tough one, but it's growing pains. Yeah.
I've noticed that too, because you've got some guys in here now, the new guys are either freshmen or like Jemiah come from a totally different system. Right. So it's taken a little time to get to understand what they've got to do.
Right. Absolutely. And you know what? Even if you look back in my year as a GA, like Baylor, his first couple months, it's an adjustment period when you're switching your style of play and you're trying to fit in with new guys and find your role. So I think Jemiah's kind of figuring that out right now, but he made some good plays for us here down the stretch here tonight, and he's so talented that he's going to figure it out. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah. Chat and I were talking. If you could have seen Steven at this point last year,
and Steven,
he was a totally different player. It took him a while to get adjusted, and he looks like. Last year he's not scoring 25 points. He's just not. He
wasn't that comfortable.
Yeah,
no, absolutely not.
So.
But to that point, though, when you come to Max system and you just play with this freedom, you're generally not thinking about defense. I want to say my sophomore year, we were 222nd in defense, but, top 10 in offense.
Those were the good old days.
Didn't really matter.
We just tried to outscore people.
Exactly. But defense wins championships, but you don't think about that, right? So I think everybody just has that adjustment when you come and you just play for this type of system.
You're telling me you didn't play any defense. That's what you're telling me, Chad.
I'm not saying I did. It's a team sport, right? So it was more of that, you know, and it was a lot of practices of
we had Doug.
Not touching the
so
ball.
we're like, Doug, you can't foul. We got to have you on the floor. You can't foul out.
Yeah,
so, you know, let Chapman get the foul because we, you know.
Or Jahens.
Jahens. Well, Jahens is nowhere near the ball either. So let's face it, you know.
I think Jay took a lot of fouls for us.
Luckily, I know all these guys really well, so that's kind of the back when we started our show.
Those shots
when we started our show, so we kind of hit it at the right, you know. Yeah. We were just talking about that earlier with Cog scoring 49. It was Doug's second game. I think he had like 18 points. You know, we said at the time the guy was doing our show with, you know, we should start a thing, Quest for Greatness, and chart his scoring to the all-time league scorer. And at that time it was Rodney Buford. We're like, he's not going to get to Rodney Buford. Are you kidding me? Right. And so we started doing it for fun. By the third season, we're like, wow, he's actually going to do this thing. And then we brought Doug on the show. I was like, when did you first start? He goes, well, somebody told me you guys were doing this thing on the show, so I started listening. You know, it's a funny story. So, yeah. Too early. So now, do you like the way the games, like, we're talking about Villanova. Somebody's like, what, Villanova's playing? I go, yeah, they play like 5 games in 14 days. Yeah. This is more of a nice, even Wednesday, Saturday start to the season, don't you think? Like, and then you have a week off for Nebraska, and then you go to Vegas where you're going to play, you know, a couple games in a row.
Well, you know, we got a difficult schedule coming up, so I think just this kind of routine gets us in mode of getting ready for that. I think it was designed that way, knowing that, you know, we had the MTE and, you know, at the time it was probably the Bahamas. Now we're going to Vegas. So just setting us up for that period, that stretch is going to be very difficult. So just trying to get us in game mode here. I think our 2 exhibitions were, I mean, the high level in Iowa State and Purdue and now. Yeah. 2 top 15 teams. Yeah, and, you know, we needed those tests. And then I think today, like, this is another great test. Like you said, we're going to have Villanova, Ben Gold at Marquette. These pick and pop 5s is, you know, kind of been our kryptonite. So to see a matchup early and we can adjust and, you know, kind of start game planning now for what we're going to do in those situations.
Right, and then Sunday you're going to see a different style. So it's going to be great.
Absolutely,
You can come back to that. Coach, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Have a great evening.
Appreciate it.
We'll see you Sunday.
Yes, sir.
And that was Tre Zielger. Say hi to JCW, by the way.
I will.
He's my man. All right.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you. That's Coach's Corner. Tre Zielger making one of his several appearances he'll make throughout the season.
Yes, sir.
All right. So we do a worst call of the game segment. I got it late in the game. Mason was right in front of the dribbler. He's trying to create some space and just basically pushes Mason out of the way, and they called him a block.
Okay.
You remember that play?
Yep, but I'd almost go with the Ashford block charge.
That
could have went either way.
Yeah, that one, to be honest, I didn't get as good a view. And I said to somebody, oh, they were screaming. I go, hey, I didn't see that one clearly enough.
I think that was some momentum, too, with it. You know, I think that could have really.
Yeah, I'd say either one. One.
I hear you. I hear it.
Yeah.
I hear it. I feel like that's a huge call.
I thought late in the game, Jemai got away with a huge chicken wing. Like 99% of the time they called it. He hooked a guy big time. But, yeah. And that was kind of big because we were kind of on a nice little run there when they called that charge on Mason, or block on Mason, I should say. So that was the worst call of the game.
Understood.
So we had a guy score 49 tonight. We had another guy 25. So unsung hero, like somebody under the radar that had a really nice game. I think you and I are probably in the same wavelength here. And I think Pop mentioned it, and I think my nomination would be Ty. I think he had
I would say Ty.
Yeah, I mean.
I would have to say Ty.
He could have saved our bacon tonight with, the shorter bench,
Absolutely short bench, but just the confidence that he had and just being able to kind of demand what he needed out of the team at a young age and just having that respect from the team. I think that's huge just to see from going forward and just things to build on. I know defense is something that they got to build on, but I think there were some good things on the offensive end that they're going to be able to walk away from and actually, hope they're happy.
Yeah,
but
and it's nice that Pop even say we're gonna be working on some defense here in a couple days. So they know it. They know it because like I said, they had worked really hard leading up to this game on getting out on shooters and so forth. And I think just in the you had some young guys out there. You had some combinations you hadn't used, and just in the chaos of the game, they just lost guys.
Absolutely.
That's just what happens.
Absolutely.
For UTRGV, Hassan Abdul Hakim, 26 points. He was a tough guard. He was about 6'8", lanky, could shoot it.
Overall, they were skilled.
I thought so too. I was really impressed with their skill.
The 3-point ability, they were just skilled. And it was like, I think they'll win some games this year.
And I think they're picked like 7th in the conference. I go, they're going to beat some people.
They'll win some games.
Yeah. DK Thorne had 17. He was 3 of 6 from 3. They were overall 14 of 35, but like I said, they missed a bunch at the end. Yep. For a while they were hovering around 50 points.
Absolutely.
50%, I should say. And of course, as we mentioned several times tonight, Ryan Kalkbrenner is now the second, number 2 on the single game scoring record in Creighton history. 49 points tonight.
Big ones.
20 of 22 shooting, 2 for 2 from 3, and 7 of 8 from the free throw line. Oh, and he just chipped in 11 rebounds.
As far as field goal
49 and 11. That's a pretty good line.
Field goal percentage, is that number 1? Do we know
that?
I feel like we have to ask Rob this, but I feel like that has to be top 3 for sure. Right?
Yeah, so I did not look at percentage because back in the day, Bob Harstead had a lot of 8-foot move. He's that kind of a guy. But we did check during the game. I did check. He did set the record for most field goals in a game. 20.
Yeah, right.
So,
right.
I would imagine for any kind of volume, that's far and away the record.
Right.
And then Steven had 25 tonight. A real solid game for him. 7 assists with the 25 points. So he had a 49-11, a 25, and a 7. Pretty darn. And
0 assists.
Seven rebounds.
0 assists. Is that correct? 0 assists.
Who's that?
Ashford.
He had 7 assists.
7 assists.
0
turnovers. Sorry.
Yeah, 2 turnovers. But he had 7 rebounds.
Yeah.
So 25, 7, and 7. Pretty nice line. Kalk had 3 blocks tonight. Yeah, they did not want to come inside, and when they did, he just swatted them away.
I think we talked a little bit out in the Purdue game, right, of leading that guard into Kalk, and I think that was something they really showed.
Yeah.
Of there's the ability to, but now it's the opposite end. If Kalk's going to be at the rim, that's just something different for a big, right?
Yeah,
to close
absolutely.
out to a shooter.
Absolutely.
That was Rogge's big.
Let's check on the. Let's see, where's our chat at here? We just had a couple guys say, "Whew." that was closer than I thought. Yeah. Somebody asked about his injury, which Pop discussed, and somebody else added to the chat that we need to get a little more out of Jason. I think he's a guy people are expecting a lot of this year. So far we haven't seen a lot of him in the first 2 games, and I think again he's been put in a different spotlight than he has been his whole time here. So I think it might take a little time, but he's got to get a little more. And I think Mason, but I still think Mason's still trying to come back from that leg injury. I think he's still not all the way there.
With Jason too. He kind of had the knee tweak, right?
Yeah,
and just kind of trying to get back in the rhythm. And
yep.
I think he didn't have the greatest game, in the exhibition. And 2, I think Mag just did a great job being a showman, right? He put out what we thought we should see too in somewhat of this early stage and allowing others to play, knowing, when time's needed, you might have to put the big guys in. But I think he did a good job too of just managing his ship and just allowing, a different rotation to get in there. That's why chemistry, I think, at times were just a little messed up. But
and I think this style was different. A lot different. You're going to see. So now you had 5 guys who could shoot 3, so it's a lot different. I think Sunday you're going to see a different style, and then you're going to see different guys perform and so forth, more traditional roles. So anyway, as we said, next game is Sunday, 4 p.m. at CHI Health Center. Get down here early, watch some football, and watch the Creighton volleyball team take on the number 2 team in the conference. Their big conference showdown with Marquette. That'll be on here at 2. and then head over to the arena at 4 o'clock to take on Fairleigh Dickinson, who will play us, I believe, Sunday, and I believe they play Nebraska on Wednesday. So, and then we'll follow it up with our own game next Wednesday against Houston Christian. So that's the show. Thanks, Austin. Appreciate it. Thanks to Val, our producer. Thanks to Tre Zielger and Pop Isaacs. And we'll see you again right here on Sunday.